Hello everyone, you're with James from Crowdrender and welcome to our thank you video because we reached our target. We reached $750 a month for our development fund, so all of our operational costs are now covered. So yes, and a huge thank you to everyone. I'm actually going to go through quite a few people today and give them each a thank you personally from me. Sorry the rest of the team can't be here today, obviously with the social isolation lockdown thing for the pandemic. It just hasn't been possible to get everyone in one place. So we're doing what we're told. We're staying put, we're staying isolated, like the rest of you, and hoping it will blow over. But this is not a time for feeling sad. It's a time for us to actually say thank you to a lot of people who have helped us in these difficult times and also before. So just to give you an idea of what's going to happen, I'm going to thank all the people who've been part of the development fund, and I'm going to thank, in reverse chronological order, all the people who've helped us since we started back in 2013. So you're going to learn a little bit about the history of Crowdrender as well. Now I am going to talk obviously a little bit about the development fund as well and where we're heading from here. So you can see, just to make it official, there you go. So this was $750 here, and we're now at, oh gosh, $817. So thank you guys so much. It's just been, well, number one, relieving. Relieving being able to pay all the businesses, all the bills that we have to pay for operations and stuff, and not having to pay out of our own pockets to keep everything alive. So that's been hugely relieving, and we're setting off in a different direction, which I'll talk about, but I'll do that at the end of the video because this isn't about sort of trying to plug the development fund, at least not too much. I might do it a little bit, but so I really wanted to say thanks to all the people who have been donating, and I'll go through all the different tiers and just give you each person who's given us something in the way of assistance a little bit of a thank you personally. I'm going to try and pronounce your names. If I get them wrong, I'm sorry. I'm not the world's best name pronouncer when it comes to non-English names, so here goes. So first person, Cayetano. The first one's a hard one for me. Cayetano Vacias, I think, is the bomb, and he is a special shout out to him because he is currently the one person who is donating at the $50 a month level, and he is a true pioneer because I had a bit of a chat with him, and actually we met at Blender conference in 2016, so small fact there, and he decided to donate originally at a lower tier but then upgraded, and he gave his reasons. He wanted to show everyone else that this was a project worthy of support, and so he upped his donation level, and he said he wanted to encourage others to do that. So really grateful to you, Cayetano. Thanks very much. And I also wanted to plug some of the things he's doing as well. So he has an add-on of his own. Now, I haven't tried this myself yet, but I am going to. It's my commitment to actually start branching out and trying other people's add-ons and seeing how they work with our add-on, and sort of having a little area on the website where you can go and see which ones we've tried and which ones work, just to give you guys some certainty about how compatible this add-on, our add-on, is with other add-ons. But yeah, it's called the Camera Cropper, and the basic idea is, I believe, is that you can actually render just small regions rather than having to render everything else. And why this is an add-on is I think it tracks things. I think you can animate it. He does have also this PeerTube channel as well, so he's got a few videos on there, and he's actually got a camera cropper tutorial for Blender 2.8. So don't panic if you don't get the link down, because it's got quite an interesting UUID in it, which might take you a while to copy down. I'm going to put all the links in the description below, so just check. If you want to watch his stuff, check that out. I did want to show off one video which I thought was really cool though, so I'm going to give Cayetano a couple of minutes of airtime of this thing. This is pretty dope. So this is the Game of Life. If you haven't heard of the Game of Life, it's essentially a computer simulation of life, basically. So little cells light up and they reproduce or they die based on certain rules, and you get these interesting patterns. So I'm just going to go full screen on this and play it. I believe he's got music to it as well, but it's a really interesting thing that he's done. He's taken a 2D sort of game of life, and then he turns it into this 3D sculpture or sculptures. It's pretty cool. So this one's for you, Cayetano. I just want to let everyone know what you've been doing. So this is my way of saying thanks. it is pretty cool. And the music and everything else ramps up later on. So thank you very much, Cayetano. Thank you so much for your support. And now moving on to some of the other guys who are really, really important in getting this whole thing kicked off. So there's two people. One is Jan Daglinks, I think that's how you pronounce it. And the other person is Manfred Knorr. So these two people have been just like inspirational because they were the first two people who, without even being asked, well, Manfred was the first, actually. He started donating $10 a month way, way back. I think it was like probably about a year ago, which is a way back for the history of the whole development fund. There wasn't a development fund back then. He just started, without us asking him to, he found a way to just donate $10 regularly a month. And that was really interesting because no one else was doing that. We did have a way for you to donate to the project, but it was just like a once-off. And most people would just do a once-off, but he just took it on his own initiative to donate $10 a month. And Manfred, I don't know if you're watching this, you have been part of kicking this whole thing off. The whole development thing was inspired by your first $10 recurring donation. And I've tried so many times, every month for a while, replying, saying, thank you, is there anything you need? And we've never heard back from you. So I hope you get to watch this video. And I hope that someday you'll reply and maybe tell us a little bit about your story, because we literally know nothing about you, but we're very grateful. And I'm just hoping you get to find out that, you know, all of this is in some way catalyzed by your first $10 donation. So thanks, Manfred. Also, thanks to Jan. Jan from Belgium is doing some really interesting stuff. I haven't put any links to that yet because I haven't asked him if he wanted me to do that, but we may be plugging his stuff. He's doing a really cool project in his hometown, trying to recreate how it looked before an incident where it got destroyed in World War II. So he's doing some really cool work, but he was super encouraging and actually told us that he wanted to pay for our add-on somehow. Even though there wasn't a way to do it, we were just giving it away, all of our software away for free. All the latest builds were just freely available. And he basically said, no, I actually want to support it, but I don't see how I can do that. And so we started the development fund. So Manfred and Jan deserve special recognition because they basically inspired this whole thing. I mean, it's pretty hard to argue with people that say, I want to pay for your stuff, please let me. So we were like, no, all right then. But yeah, thanks to you, Jan, thanks to you, Manfred. I also want to say a huge thanks to Sean Kitchen, Bob Green, and Gabor Nagy. Hopefully I got your names right. Also, some of the very first people, and you know, they're obviously donating at the $20 tier, so that deserves special recognition. Sean in particular has been a really cool dude. We've been helping him quite a bit just to get software running, and we've enjoyed chatting to him. So thanks, Sean, and yeah, let's keep working on your stuff. It's pretty cool. 10 level supporters, $10 level, so $10 a month. Obviously Manfred, we've mentioned Cayetano, who's still donating at his old $10 level. So yeah, huge thanks to you because you're actually donating $60 a month. I hope you're aware of that. It's cool if you want to cancel the 10 one. We won't argue with that either because you've given us more than enough support. Also, Thomas Spangenberg, Christopher Ryan, Mikhail Sambora, Robert Schwartz, Angel Montañez, thank you to you. I think this is pronounced Simon, like Simon, but I'm not sure. My reading of Cyrillic is not the best. Kevin Soley, Francis Brown, Twin Force SL, I think that's a company. Thank you guys. Aaron Smithy, Simon Schedeger, I think. Raymond Klink, Patrick Grip Janssen, Seth Vlach, Sun Yanan, Nicholas Salve, and Eric Buck. Thank you to all of you guys who are really, really packing quite a punch at that $10 a month level. We're super grateful and hoping that you're enjoying being supporters. Shader Textures for 3D Design, a special mention because he decided to create his own tier at $5. So we decided to create a special category just for you. So that's what you get for being, I guess, a little bit different to the rest of the pack. Okay, now this is the long one. I'm going to take a deep breath and try and concentrate and get through everyone. But I do want to thank all of you guys because you guys are making this possible. I don't know, I just want to say a huge thanks. I can't really express it some other way. You've lifted a huge amount of stress and worry and fretting off our shoulders. I'm sure, you know, Jeremy and Chris and Martin would all say the same if they were here as well. And I don't want to sort of like make out that you're not worth as much as the other people who are donating more. That's not true. I mean, together, each person sacrificing a little bit has made a massive difference. And I think everyone has obviously committed to what they can commit to, and that's fine. But I just want to give a personal thanks to everyone if I can, and I will do, just because, yeah, it's been really, really, really good. So without further ado, thank you to George Kafer. There's an umlaut there. Umlauts always make my head hurt. John Swanson, Epson Grimsgard, Malcolm Robertson. Thank you to Christoph Jankowski. I think it's Kofsky. Rainer Seitner, La La Land Synth, Likov Bachman, Polygonic, Jim Bartlett, Renderality.com, company there. Check out their website. Thomas Kellender, Philip Canal, or Felipe Canal, Cristobal Mora Temerode, thanks. Thomas Malling, Kevin Wright, Creatide.com, another website, maybe I want to check that one out. Alex Wonderly, Miles Lacey, Peter Burgess, Oren Fleetwood, Ud During, or Doring, another umlaut, sorry mate, I struggle with. Oren Fleetwood, Ud During, Francisco Machado, wow, sounds like a macho name, nice one Francisco. Jeffrey Penny, Nando Dietz, Flower Edutainment, MakeIt.zone, Kern Visses, Igor Reyes, William Morris, Mark Greenhall, Sven Florian Kisbert, Klaus Alwick, Chadder Bishon Hart, Random Bits of Tech, Michael Woodrum, Michael Marvin, SalesKit.io, another website, check it out. Adam Barno, Tom Arenberg, Virginio or Virginio Levrio. Depending on where you are in the world, I guess that's either a GG or a HG. William Hawks, Ben Smith, Carpe Santos, Richard Brown, Harris.design, SockDocs Inc., another company, Sebastian Guerin, Patrick Depois. Thank you, Patrick. Patrick's been plugging our stuff on Twitter for quite a while, so he deserves a special mention for that. And has also helped to translate, well, I think one of our videos, might have been a crowdfunding video, into French, which was very, very nice of you. Thank you for doing that, because I would have probably sucked at doing that. I probably would have used Google Translate and just hoped for the best. And they're not the best. Justin Kenner, Major Deco, Ikemefuna Okafor, maybe? Siolon Ionut. I think Ionut is like Little John, or John maybe? I've had a couple of chats with you, so please let me know if I've got your name right. Gabor Nagy, again, also at the $4 level. I think he's upgraded. I'm probably going to have to take that out. But thanks anyway, mate. You get another mention because you upgraded, so I think it's worth mentioning you twice. Fanny Perez, Torbjorn Richt, Cody Dast, Rolf Gerald, Thomas Campershaw, Eric Spear. Thank you, guys. Michael Delaney, Adam Simon, Jonathan Pitts, Nicola Pro, Christian Mollenberg, Emo Hester. Thanks, you're all legends in my eyes. Ronald Swinderman, Scott Vandervoort, Ben Sumner, Nie Xiao Guang, I think. John Brunswick, Satyam, Sahir Jamil Shahid, Daniel Pecoraro, Peter Lepiak, Felix Palk, Sasha Hub, Tristan Kennis, Jacob Oster, all very much legends in my view. DeBurnt, Michael Wilson, Hood Music, sounds interesting. Thanks, man. Jay Granberg Media, Amadeo Paglioni. Amadeo, wow. Isn't that like Mozart's second name? Cool. All right, where was I up to? I was up to Amadeo. Jean Lockhart, Christian Koch Rumpf, Tim Feathers, Laurent van der Straten, Malin Victor Repojo. Thank you, everyone. Martin McKee, Maxim Crisina, John Cargyle, I think. Logical Elements LLC, DJ Appy. I guess you're happy about being a DJ? Sorry, that was a terrible joke. I'll shut up and thank you. Thank you, man. Dirk Eisner, Jeffrey Lord, Lorenz Visek, Mikhail Elizarov, Joachim Vidal Johansson, that is one heck of a cool name, Lovestad Media, Joel Stein, Alex Lindsay, Dallas Luther, Eric Cruz, Gail Cole, Christian Schumann, Brandon Carter, Sarah Alokwa. Not even going to try, sorry dude. but I'm highlighting your name and saying thank you. So you get a little bit more of a special mention just because I had to really think about what I was doing for a second. Tommaso Cavallo, Nan Nguyen, Lex Cohen, Martin Smith, John Lamb, Firearm Freak, Joao Camerer, Aaron Lavanway, Harry Chisnall, Adam Jackson, Oliver Brassard, Joseph Barclini, thank you to all of you. JP Lego, I think this is backwards. Gregory Hiscox, thank you. Nicole Farrell, Gabrielle Lawrence, Mark Donnelly, thank you. Thank you to all of you, and sincerely as well. We would not have a project if it wasn't for each and every one of you. And we are so looking forward to continuing to do this journey with you. So stick around. There's going to be lots of stuff happening. And I'm going to now go in reverse chronicle order through a few other special people and give you a little bit of a tour of the history while plugging the people who've helped us get here. So the people who I'm plugging have helped make the history of Crowdrender a good one. So first up, 80 Burrows and Gleb Alexandrov. So in our first crowdfunding campaign, back in 2018, they helped us out. They're helping us out again. There are going to be some new perks coming. They're not out yet because we're just waiting for a few things to fall into place. But a huge shout out to these guys. They've got some really cool training stuff in the Blender market, which is on sale right now. So yeah, you might want to go grab that. They've also got some YouTube channels. I'm pretty sure you guys know them. Like, I feel it would be the other way around, that they would be telling people about Crowdrender and people going, oh wow, Crowdrender, I haven't heard of that. I'm pretty sure, if you're already using Crowdrender, you probably already know about these guys. But it's just, this is what I can do. I can say they're great guys. They've helped. They didn't have to help. They really got nothing out of helping us, but they helped anyway. And that is worth shouting about. That's altruism. They're helping create a space for our project. And really, there's no financial benefit for them for doing that. There's no strategic or, benefit from their channels and traffic. I would very much like to return the favor, but I can't because my channel is smaller than theirs. But I will do what I can, which is tell you guys, if you have been wondering about whether they're worth investing your money in and buying their training courses, I've done a bit of the training. The training is top notch, and they're great people to boot. So you know that you're paying great people who actually have, goodness in them, which is rare. Good characters, rare. So they're definitely worth paying. So that's 80 Burrows, and of course Gleb Alexandrov needs no introduction, who has his Creative Shrimp website. Moving on, Steve Lund from CG Geek helped us out by basically just letting people on his YouTube channel know about our first crowdfunding campaign as well. Whereas, he had, I think, 100,000 subs at that point. He's got quite a few more now. So he was pretty generous with what he wanted out of it. So we just wanted to give him a plug. You probably already heard about him, but yeah, another good person who you should probably follow and stick with. Blender Nation have been, without a doubt, probably the single biggest factor in us getting traction. Their website... Well, the website is run by Bart Veldhuizen, so hopefully I got your name right. So Bart, if you get to watch this, thank you, mate. And obviously, I really want to plug what Bart is doing because, again, great site, great for obviously learning about what's going on, very informative, but also for us. We posted one article way back in probably 2017, I think it was. So 3 years, going back 3 years now. And we were blown away with how many people came to our site through that article. It was like, wow, we were thinking about how we would ever get a voice in the Blender community. And thanks to Bart's generosity, we have one. He has been super generous, again, doing stuff that really has gone above and beyond the amount of benefit that he's probably got from it personally. So I really want to do my bit to plug Blender Nation, tell you to support it. They do have a Patreon page, so you can actually support what he does. I mean, obviously, if you want to spend money on advertising on his site, highly recommend it. It's much better than paying Google, because Bart's a good guy, right? I don't know if Google's a good organization or not. I hear good, I hear bad, I hear everything in between. But having personal interactions with Bart, I know he's a good person with his heart in the right place. So definitely support him. If you want to do any advertising and you want to pay him, do that. If you want to support him, definitely a good option. Like, I'd like to steer people's money towards good people. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. So this is Bart. You can follow him on Twitter, Blender Nation. This is all going to be in the description below, so don't feel that you need to write it down. The Mantissa, Midge Sinivo from Belgium. Awesome, awesome dude. We got involved, again, probably around 2016, 2017, after we presented at the Blender conference. And he basically posted on a website saying, your add-on is amazing, which was really good. And then he told us all the things that were crap about it, which was a strange feeling. It was like he was encouraging us, but then telling us, but you've screwed up here, 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 here. It was a long list, and we're still going through it today, trying to meet all of his demands. But again, super nice guy, really encouraging, really generous with his time. Again, he didn't really get anything out of helping us. He spent, I think, about 2 hours with us on a live stream, teaching people who are on our channel how to do this type of visual artwork and artistic process. And what does he get out of it? Nothing, really, in terms of tangible stuff. So we really want to thank you, Midge, and just say we're going to do our best, obviously, to plug your work. And if you need any help with anything, then we're always here. So thank you for being so generous with your time. We always here want to reciprocate that. So I want to plug Midge and his website. Again, it'll be in the description. Go check it out. Go look at what he does. If you like it, then definitely, I'd just say he's got a YouTube channel where he does a lot of tutorials on how he does stuff. So go check that out. There's a link here, I think, for that. So go check out tutorials if you like what he's doing. I love it. I mean, you've probably seen, if you watched any of our tutorials, I do a lot of work with just a default cube, and it looks ugly. He's somehow managed to make the default cube look interesting and beautiful, so you definitely want to check his work out. Oliver Vijar from BlendTuts. Again, got involved with us really early on. Super encouraging, super nice guy. And if you're from Latin America, from a Spanish-speaking country, or from Spain, you need to go buy this guy's training and support him, because, again, I'm very big about supporting people who are good at what they do, but also are good people. Oliver helped us, like I've been saying. There wasn't really much in it for him in helping us, but he decided to do it anyway. And I want to somehow give back to that by saying, Oliver, huge thanks to you, man. We're very grateful. We still want to do Luke's Escape. That will mean something to you. Not sure if it will mean anything to anyone else, but we really want to help in any way we can. So we should talk at some point about doing that. But Oliver Vijar was very, very encouraging at a time when we weren't getting much feedback. Basically spent time on Skype many times with me saying, you're going in the right direction, you're doing something that's really cool. Even went so far as to create a video on his channel, which, it's not a huge channel, but it's like 40,000 subscribers, which is 40,000 more than I have. And the fact that he was willing to go out of his way to basically let people know about what we're doing. He supported our funding campaign. He was also on the live stream, giving up his time. So if you donate the $10 level or above, you get access to the recording of that live stream with Oliver and Midge doing their thing, which is pretty cool. They both did some really interesting stuff. But again, they're just supporting us out of the goodness of their heart. So I really want to say thanks. You can also find, he's got stuff on his website. If you hablo español, then you're going to really enjoy this stuff. This is where most of his new content is. So if you're looking at the YouTube site and you're seeing, okay, so the last thing was a year ago, it's probably because he's doing a lot more live streaming and doing it in Spanish. So people that speak Spanish are going to really get into that. So I'm going to put that up there as well. Again, links will be in the description below. Finally, Jonathan Williamson. So we've gone back from present day development fund. This all kicked off really with a project I had at university, and I had an idea for speeding up the rendering for the project. because I wanted to do an animation to support a presentation I was doing for one of my courses. And I remember basically having this idea about how I could use lots of computers at the university to help me render, and started thinking about, well, that could actually be a good add-on, because there wasn't one that would actually work the way I wanted it to. There was NetRender, which came bundled with it, but I only had 3 computers, and NetRender NetRender needs 2 computers just as administration. Like, it needs a client, it needs a master, and then you get to render on all the other computers. Well, I only had 3, so I could only render on one of them using NetRender, and the other 2 just sat there doing other things, but they couldn't render. I think there was a way you might have been able to get around that, but it was very techy at the time, and I wasn't really keen to try troubleshooting it. So we started looking into Crowdrender, and I remember Jonathan Williamson, very generous guy, spent time on the phone, actually on a Skype call with me, listening to my crazy idea and saying, yeah, this sounds like a good idea, you should do it. So again, if you look at where the tree of Crowdrender started growing from, it was from conversations and support from Jonathan, and then Oliver, and then Midge and Bart, and then all the other people who I've mentioned. So I've pretty much got to the end here where I've finished thanking everyone, but Jonathan deserves a special mention because he was pretty encouraging. And so it was really cool to, I guess, engage early on with the community and get sort of different opinions on whether they thought my idea for Crowdrender was actually a good one. And yeah, so I just wanted to say thanks, Jonathan. Thanks for that little bit of time that we spent way back in, I think it was 2013. Gosh, that's a while ago now. It's 7 years ago. It'd be really cool to catch up and have another chat at some point in the future, but I just wanted to say thanks and plug what you do. Obviously, Jonathan works for CG Cookie, which you probably definitely heard of. So yeah, go check them out as well. They're good people. I think that pretty much wraps up the whole thanks thing. Like, lots of good people who've helped us. And I guess that's kind of inspired us to want to do the same thing. So I just want to go back to the crowdfunding page for a sec. So where do we go from here? Now we're feeling all inspired and grateful and stuff. So the ultimate aim is to eventually get to the point where we can have an open source add-on that's freely available, and the development of that is supported in the same way that the Blender application is, by a development fund. That's our ultimate aim. So what's happening is, as we get more funds now, we're actually looking towards hiring ourselves as developers to work on the project as our main source of income and our main job that we do every day. Because we really enjoy it. We're passionate about this. We love 3D and we love high performance computing. So those two things together is pretty much Crowdrender. So what we're doing with the development fund is, as we pass these new sort of mini goals, we're going to start trying to release more and more of the new software that we're working on right now. I guess that's kind of like our little act of goodwill, just to show people we're heading in the direction of one day this thing being free again. So that's what we want to do. That's our preference. That's our current plan and trajectory. So this number here represents probably myself working part-time to start with. And we're going to have more goals as we get more funding to basically hire, hopefully myself full-time, and then other people part-time, and then full-time as we get more funding. We want to grow sustainably. We don't want to sort of put huge targets up there straight away unless we know that the people who are supporting it are really into it. And we have been actually growing pretty quick, so it looks like we're going to make our next target, or a mini target, maybe within the next few weeks, which would be really cool, because then you'll get access to version 0.2.3. Everyone will have access to that to try it out. It's got support for denoising and cryptomat in it, so that's a new sort of, we're calling it a patch release, but it's kind of more like a minor upgrade. But at this stage, we're not really up to version 1.0, so we use semantic versioning, and before you get to version 1.0 in semantic versioning, it's kind of a free-for-all. But we're just going in steady small updates like this. So there'll probably be 0.2.7, but then eventually there'll be the new system that we're working on. So hopefully that's given you a taste of where we're headed. So the ultimate goal is to get to the point where we have an amazing piece of software that is basically free and open source for everyone to use, provided obviously that we have the funding to support it. And that pretty much concludes this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that if you are a donor, that you got to watch this and know how important even the small amount, if you, well, it may be a small amount. You might think it's a small amount, like $4, but it's a huge thing. Every person who commits to donating to the project on a monthly basis means a huge amount, because that makes a little bit more of the project possible. And we're hugely grateful for everyone that's done it. And I want to end on a positive note here. That we're in obviously some pretty hard times at the moment, and there's lots of people who are under pressure financially, or under pressure just from going crazy. Like, I'm at home, I'm a COVID dad. I've got our 3 kids in here. They're being very, very well behaved right now because I haven't heard them. But it's just, yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to have the support. And a lot of people have pledged to keep supporting even throughout this difficult time. And that's really cool. As of August last year, I stopped working. So the little bit that we've got right now, past $750, is going to help with, me being able to pay bills right now. So that is super appreciated from a personal level. And we're going to see how we go. I mean, we've set our new targets. We're going to be doing lots of more tips and tricks live streaming, talking about how to get the software to work really well. And I hope you'll stick around and subscribe in anticipation of that. Hopefully you can put up with me just maybe talking a bit too much, because I tend to do that. But yeah, really, really, really big thanks. And this is a celebration moment for obviously the team, but I hope you're celebrating with us as well, wherever you are. You've obviously made us all very, very happy to have reached this part. And I hope that's spilling over into your life and maybe brightening up your day. Because I know that, right now in the world, gosh, we need cheering up. And this, at least for us, has been a really, really good news story and really cheery. So thank you to everyone involved, both present and past and future. Thanks. And that's pretty much really all I have to say. So stick around. Hopefully you'll be here when we do the next video in a couple of days' time. Be great to have you. And yeah, sorry, feeling a bit emotional. It's kind of hard for me to get my words together when that happens. So I think I'll probably just stop the video here and say thank you all for watching. Cheers, guys. Bye.